Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I am back from my work trip, so regularly scheduled videos will resume for at least a couple of weeks. So came home to a couple of boxes. So as you can see, obviously we have the new E-Flite UMX F-86. And today the Blue Angels movie just came out on Amazon. I watched it in IMAX a couple days ago, and it was freaking amazing. So definitely watch this movie if you have the time. It's definitely worth your time to watch. So really cool. Anyways, just kind of doing an overview on the Sabre, and we're gonna do a couple of modifications. So this one's Bentley's, that one's mine. Not that you can tell the difference at the moment, but I do plan on doing a couple things. First, my first impressions of the airplane. It's a nice size. In fact, let me grab the MiG. So in real life, the MiG-15 is a little bit smaller than the Sabre, and these models actually, I think, are very close in scale. So now I'm already thinking, because if you guys are from the MiG, it flies fantastic, but it needs more power. So I'm already thinking of how I can squeeze one of these power systems in here. I don't think you'll be able to run 4 cells. There's just not room. But this is such a hot power system, and this is smaller and lighter, that I'm wondering if a 3S battery on this power system would actually fly this really nice. I bet you it would. So who knows? Maybe I'll end up getting another Sabre and just using the guts out of it and putting it in the MiG and then saving the parts for spares. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, F-86 is one of my favorite airplanes. You see I got my jet hangar Sabre here. That's next in the build list to finish. But I've always loved Sabres, and this is actually, in my opinion, one of the nicer looking foam ARFs that's come out for as far as Sabres go in a long time. So it's more scale and outline than a number of them actually. Now there are some things, it's not perfect, and because I'm super picky about stuff, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. but overall, it's just an awesome looking little model. And I got to hand it to whoever in E-Flite or Horizon is doing the markings on all these latest UMX models, like the Mustang. And I've talked about this before in the Mustang video. But the markings are fantastic on this model. The colors, the sizing, the positioning, the font, all that stuff. Stars and bars, that's the right color, finally. The yellow, perfect. It's a nice deep yellow. It's not too light. It's even got some nomenclature on it. I mean, pretty cool details for such a small model. If you haven't seen one of these yet in person, for the price, 160 bucks, I mean, it's really sweet. There's plastic used on it, so like the nose cone is plastic, which is nice. The exhaust area is plastic, so it's nice and thin, and it looks really good. And they got the shape. The exhaust is bigger than scale, but they got that shape, that egg-shaped exit, and the whole section in the back, this super complex little fairing deal back here, is all pretty dang good, all things considered. So overall, very impressed with the airplane. I mean, look at that. We even got, that's a functioning scale heat exit. So the ESC is inside of there, and I literally just noticed that while I was holding the model. This is a real vent on the real airplane, and in the model it's functional. So that's super cool. Let me pop this canopy off here. So everyone's big complaint is that the canopy isn't clear. That is correct. The canopy is also a little bit oversized, but there's a reason for that. That's a huge battery. So this runs on a 4-cell, 450 milliamp pack. So this power system in this thing is pretty bananas for a ultra micro. As you can see, it's a outrunner with a 6-blade. You can't see it that great. It's a 6-blade rotor, whereas this is a 5-blade in the MiG. And I want to say that's a 27 millimeter, and this is a 30, or a 28 millimeter and a 30. So this is a ever so slightly larger fan. As you can see here, the board is obviously sitting right on top. There's actually a pretty decent amount of room to move this battery forward and aft, which is kind of nice. See the nose steering runs through the top there, down through the inlet. And I gotta say, one of my favorite things about this model is the stance on the ground, and that's one of my bigger pet peeves with models, especially jets, is that they don't sit. A lot of them don't sit on the ground properly. The Sabre sits real low, and they got the little nose gear door on it. They got the main doors. It just looks really cool. I mean, and the MiG sits pretty good too, but I've actually modified the gear on that so it sits a little more properly. But anyways, yeah, just a fantastic looking little model. Now, do I have gripes? Sure. Would I like a clear canopy? Obviously, but I'm gonna do some airbrushing on this to kind of make it look better than just gray plastic. I mean, for a mass-produced model, there's only so much that they're gonna do. I love the silver. Same with the Mustang. This out in the sun looks really good. I don't know what they're using for paint, but it's a very bright silver, and it looks awesome outside. We got panel lines. I mean, the outline of this thing is great. It's got that little belly pan, which a lot of Sabres don't do right. It's just really cool. I mean, it's got the ball linkages on it. They're really stepping up their game. I mean, look, it's even got the counterbalance on the rudder. It's actually functional. So little details like that on a model this size are really, really cool. So, trash truck. So one of the things that I kind of found comical is, and I'm not sure why they did this, and who knows, but the machine gun panel, which is really cool that they made it out of plastic, and it's got the actual ports in it and all that. It's way too small. It's like, if you look on this side, the actual panel line for the gun panel is in the model, but for some reason that's, I don't know. Is that a big deal? Absolutely not. Am I going to attempt to fix it? Absolutely yes, because that looks kind of silly. But overall, super impressed with the package. It looks awesome. I haven't flown it yet. From the videos I've seen, it looks like they fly incredible. So anyways, the paint scheme. Super famous F-86 paint scheme. It is a great scheme. It's been done a ton on F-86s, and for good reason. It's very attractive. It's got cool nose art. It's got the checkers in the tail, which looks really cool. This is just, it's a very well-known F-86 paint scheme. And honestly, it was really well done. I really like it. But because I like to be different, I'm going to change it, and we're going to show you guys how. All right, that sums up my rework there. As you can hear, we got the washer and dryer going. I'm sorry. All right, so you can see I selected Beauteous Butch 2 as the paint scheme. Same squadron. Obviously, the tail numbers should be different, but maybe someday I'll do that right. But I wanted to just do something quick and easy and change it up a little bit. So you can kind of see, and we'll take them outside in the sunlight too. But I try to do a little bit of panel color variation. I fixed the gun port panel. So what I ended up doing, this thing's not focusing. There we go. What I ended up doing was taking some aluminum tape and made a new panel for that. Cover this spot up because I melted the foam a little bit with the paint that I was using. And I was just brushing stuff on. I'll turn this stuff around here in a second. But as you can see, I did the ammo panels out of aluminum tape, the gun ports. And I tried to do something with the canopy, and my dad came over and gave me a couple of tips. I had done a number of different variations of like metallic blues and silvers. I tried to like airbrush it and make it look splotchy and textured in a way. And I cleared it, and it looked better than gray, but it didn't really have the right look that I was hoping for. And so my dad used to work for the Northrop display model group, and he said what they used to do on the canopies was they used to use white and make like starbursts and like cloud reflections and stuff. Unfortunately, my airbrush can't quite do that small of a detail, so what I ended up with was just kind of like some like reflection looking type deals. And then you can see I put a gloss clear over it too, kind of helps the illusion. I think it looks pretty cool, but anyways, let's take these out in the sun, get a better look. Alright, so as you can see, a lot of that color variation kind of disappears out in the sunlight, but I think the canopy looks pretty cool. And you know, my little hand-done nose art with a pen looks okay from about 5 feet. So quick and dirty kind of a thing. Just wanted to change it up from stock. So anyways, hope you guys like it. I think it looks pretty cool. And yeah, we're gonna go fly these puppies hopefully tomorrow morning. So anyways, hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, and I wanted to add some of the airbrushing that I did and some of the painting that I did was just with rattle cans. One of the methods I like to use for airbrushing just small little details, instead of trying to, like, you know, get a bottle of paint, thin it out and all that stuff, I'll take spray paint, spray it into the cap, and then pour that into my airbrush and then use it. So I forgot to show you guys. So one of the things I did was I changed the color on that exhaust section a little bit just by brush, and then I came in with my airbrush and I shot some black down in the tailpipe just to make it look a little more realistic. I did draw in some of the panel lines and stuff, nothing too crazy. Speed brakes, gear doors, stuff like that, and the flaps on top. But yeah, so again, a lot of this detail, like you just saw, kind of washes out in the bright sunlight, but inside, you know, it looks pretty cool. See all the different panel color variation. But anyways, take two. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll get some video of these things flying tomorrow, hopefully.